welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Allie, and if you aren't, then you know a couple of years ago back I actually did a video on how to cover up my acne, and I'm excited to share to you that I'm currently barefaced and I no longer have the acne that I did, and I'm here just to share my experience with you guys of me being on Accutane and how it was for me and any tips and tricks I learned along the way. Obviously I'm not a doctor, so I don't have any of that background. I'm not trying to be one. I'm just trying to shed some light on you guys if you are interested about being on Accutane, or if you're about to get on Accutane and you just kind of want to know a little bit of what it's like and what you're going to experience, then this video is for you, and go ahead and keep watching. And if you like it, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the video. Okay, so starting Accutane. Obviously, like I said in the intro, I'm not a doctor, but I am here to share some tips and give you guys some ideas of what you should be expecting if you are on Accutane, or if you're thinking about getting on Accutane. So starting out on Accutane is a 6-month process. I did 4 out of the 6 months, and I'll get into that later. But it is a in-depth process. It does take a while. Everyone's situation is different. There are very major side effects, which I'll also get into later. About 3 or 4 years ago, I actually started trying to get on Accutane, and I want to say it was more towards 4, but it was a while ago. Seeing how to get rid of acne, and I came across one video of some girl saying that how she was on Accutane and kind of giving you the same thing I'm doing for you guys. And I would see all these videos and these before and after pictures, and I thought, that's amazing how well it has gotten. So I wanted to go ahead and try it, and I went into the dermatologist and I asked if I could get on it. However, they started me out with something else, because obviously Accutane is very high. I haven't been on medicine for my acne before, so they didn't want to just give me this high drug. We tried that out for about a month and it did not work. It made my skin worse. And then finally, when they did realize that medicine wasn't working, they did put me on the bigger medicine. So getting your prescription, it's not just something that you can walk in and get. It actually is a very in-depth process, and they go over a bunch of tests, and you have to do a bunch of things before you can get it. For my first appointment for the Accutane, I actually did not leave with a prescription, and it actually took me a month in order to even get on the medicine. And before I got on the medicine, I had to do multiple things. I had to take a test, I had to fill out paperwork. I wasn't currently on birth control, and when you're on Accutane, if you're a female, you have to be on 2 types of birth control. So since I wasn't even on one, I had to go to the doctors, get on the prescription for birth control, and then come back to them and have the doctors give me a piece of paper saying that yes, I am on birth control now. They take about a month to get into your system. They wouldn't even let me start the medicine till a month out. And I had to also get my blood taken to see if I could even be eligible to get the medicine, because depending on what your blood work says, you might not be able to get the Accutane. Luckily, my blood work came back fine. They checked it. They make you use 2 types of birth control, so the other one I used was just like condoms. And then I had to fill out a I pledge form. And I pledge is basically your account and you pledging that you're not going to get pregnant while you're on the Accutane. The reason is because Accutane is such a strong drug. It actually will give you a birth defect. After that all came back and we're all good, I finally was able to get my first prescription. Before you get your prescription, you have to fill out a 2-minute quiz on iPledge, pretty much, once again, pledging that you are not going to get pregnant on the medicine, and you have to get your blood work, and this is every month. So Accutane is a 6-month process. So every month before you get your medicine, each month you have to take the quiz, get your blood drawn, and make sure you're still up to date with your birth control. And then you can get your medicine, and then the next month is the same, and so on. So now that we're caught up, all our blood work is ready, we've taken all our medicine and all that stuff's good, and now I actually have the prescription. We're gonna go ahead fast forward to the first month. The first month, I don't remember anything crazy. Now this was a couple of years ago, so I wish I would have done this video sooner for you guys. I stopped doing YouTube for a while, but what I remember is the doctors even said it's gonna get worse before it gets better, and everyone has heard that saying before. Do you remember, I don't remember it getting worse. However, my acne was so bad, I was so used to it at that point, to the point where it felt like it couldn't even get worse. But I do remember that when I first started, my acne was really bad on my cheeks, and then when I started taking the medicine, it swapped. So it didn't get worse here, but it got worse in other places where I didn't have it. So like my T-zone was really bad, and I just felt like this was kind of dying down, but it was coming up to here. So I would take pictures, just so I could see the process every, like, you could do it every week, every 2 weeks. So after that, I had that month's bloodly, prick in the arm, and that was, the most it was. And then it was just remembering to take your medicine every day. So when you do get your prescription, it's going to be a little booklet type of thing. At least this was mine. And you would open it up and you would just pop out, and then have like your supply for the month. And then before that month was over, you had to make sure you set up your appointment. When I said earlier about how I did 4 out of the 6 months, that was the reason why. I didn't get my blood work. You have a time frame to get your blood work done, and if you don't do it, then you're out. So since I missed the time frame of the blood work, I wasn't able to get my next prescription. And once you do stop it, you can't get back on it right away. You'd have to, I think you have to wait a year or something to get back on it. So I was only able to complete 4 out of the 6 months. At that point, it was okay because my acne did clear up dramatically, that I was okay with where I was at. But I wish I would have been able to do the 6 months, because I'm just curious how much more, that's another 2 months, so how much more my skin would have changed. All right, so going back to the first couple of months, because I kind of got sidetracked, there was nothing really bad. I would recommend obviously having a moisturizer, a very heavy moisturizer at night for your face, because it will get dry. And I remember if I missed any nights, I would start to peel. It's also for your lips too. Your lips are going to be super dry. So Vaseline was the best thing that worked for me. Chapstick wasn't enough, it wasn't strong enough, but I would cover my lips at night with Vaseline, and if I missed one night, I would wake up and they were all cracked. Being on the medicine, it wasn't bad, because I would make sure to prep my skin and make sure I was getting the moisture that it needed with the Vaseline and the moisturizer. Another thing I noticed with being on Accutane the first couple months is your hair will fall out. I was in the shower one time, and I remember I went like this or whatever it was, and I had a clob of hair in my hand. And I think at that point I started crying, or I, was not even necessarily crying, just broke down, because it's depressing to see so much hair fall out. And it wasn't just once in a while. It was every time I would shower and I would go and I pull my hair, it was not even pulling my hair, but just washing it through or combing it through, it was just falling out and falling out. And I have very thick hair, but my hair was so thin after it happened. However, luckily when I did get off the Accutane, my hair did go back to normal. Another thing it causes is suicidal depression, which is a very big common side effect. For me personally, I don't remember having any super crazy depression or suicidal thoughts. The only thing I could think of, or I can remember, is maybe being when you're PMSing and you just are you break down easily, or you're hormonal. That's the only thing I could ever remember, is being maybe extra hormonal when I was on it. But I don't remember ever having a suicidal thought or anything like that happening. So for me, that wasn't an issue. So about the 2nd to 3rd month is when you're going to start noticing a difference. And I think that by that point it was a big difference. And after a month, I want to say it was a dramatic change. Before this, I had such bad acne that at that point I was so happy with even though I still had acne, it was so much better than what it was that I was happy. It got better. And then at this point, it was the redness went down, or the bumps went down, but it was just the redness there. And it would get lighter and lighter. It worked so good for my skin. Nothing else was helping my acne. It wasn't budging. Such a relief once it did start working, because I've been looking, and trying to figure out something that would work for my skin, and it feels good once you do find something that actually does help. Now, obviously, depending on how bad your acne is, and what you can see in, my before picture is, mine was, pretty bad. It depends if yours is as bad as mine or worse, how fast it's going to work for you. If it's, if you don't have as bad as mine, it could work faster, or you might not see as big of a difference as first. Obviously, everyone's going to be different, but I promise after, the 3rd or 4th month, you will see a difference. You will see it working for sure. I think you had to stay away from the sun and then wear sunscreen, but don't quote me on that, because I don't remember, because it was so long ago, but I want to say I'm 90% sure that you couldn't go out in the sun with it. Okay, so I wanted to make sure about the sunscreen, because I want to give you guys the best tips I can. So I go ahead and look it up and make sure that sunscreen was something that you had to wear. And yes, it is. You even if you go out in the sun, with being on Accutane. Not even just your face, your skin will blister up and it can leave scars. So make sure that you, before you get on Accutane, buy sunscreen, put it on daily. If you're going, even just to go in the car, now we're at like the 3 to 4 month where I'm getting off the Accutane, or well, I wasn't getting off Accutane, but I missed my prescription. At that point, my acne was, you know, almost gone. You could tell like your pores when you're on the Accutane, they're gone. You don't even have any pores. So now that this is over, because I missed my shot on to get my blood work and they wouldn't give me my next month prescription, I wasn't sure how this was going to end up. Like if my acne was going to come back, since I didn't finish 2 of the months. You know, was it going to get worse again? Would I have to go back on it in a year, or however long it was before I could get back on it? I still, to this day, it has been 4 years and I have not seen a new pimple since then. My skin has stayed the same since, you know, getting off of Accutane, and it hasn't got worse. And if anything, it has gotten better now that, like, you know, over time it's had more time to heal itself and whatnot. I was left with scarring, however. The scarring was from popping the pimples, you know, or messing with my face. And if you just got your acne and it just came out, don't pop your pimples, because it will leave scarring. And that was the only thing I was left with. I was kind of curious, if I did finish those 2 months, would it have healed the scarring a little bit better? However, I'll take the scarring over what I had before any day, obviously. In the back of my head, I'm still wondering, like, if I did do those 2 months, would my scarring have gotten better? So now that I'm off the Accutane, I went ahead and, you know, just kind of, I was happy, I was satisfied because it was better than what I had, and I felt great. Now 3 years have gone by, I haven't done anything, you know, crazy, just washed my face, do the bare minimum. Never went out and bought, you know, any expensive skincare. I just, you know, did my normal thing and everything was fine. I didn't get any new acne, I didn't get any new pimples. Like, it was perfect. Like, the medicine really did work so well for me, even only taking 4 out of the 6 months. So before we got married, I was going to see this lady, a facialist, that was helping, you know, get my skin ready, just to get the dead skin off. I went and got I think it was like a microabrasion, just to, you know, exfoliate my skin, get it ready for the wedding. And she recommended microneedling, but obviously microneedling is very strong, so we didn't do it till after the wedding. After I got back from the wedding, we went ahead and made an appointment, and I tried out the microneedling. That definitely has helped made my pores smaller, and I would go every month. But right now, with, you know, everything that's going on with the COVID, everything's shut down, so I haven't been able to go back to her. We have been doing that. I have gotten some new products from Amazon that have helped, which I can do a video one day to show you guys, like, what some affordable products are that I ordered. It has even improved more because I have been doing extra stuff just for the scarring sake. Like, my skin is good, it's just the scarring from what I had before that I'm trying to work on now. And I have noticed a difference with that, like, to help my scarring. And it has been 3 or 4 years, and my face is still good. So if I could go back, I would love to do the 2 more months. However, I am extremely grateful for what I do have, or what I have gotten out of the medicine. Looking back though, you know, would I do it all over again? I would say yes. I feel personally that I had a good experience with the Accutane. It was worth it at the end. Like, it feels so much better not having the acne I did. I just kept telling myself, it's 6 months, it'll, you know, it'll go by faster than you know it. But it went by fast. It, you know, had a good outcome. I had nothing but positive things to say. So that being said, I would probably do it again. The only thing I would change was, you know, hopefully not to miss my blood work, and to do the extra 2 months that I had that I didn't get to do. It has been 4 years, and you're able to tell that my acne still has not, you know, come back at all on both sides, which I'm showing you my cheeks since those were the worst. I haven't had to go out and buy this, you know, crazy skin line. My face has looked good, and, you know, started trying to work on the old stuff, like the scarring and stuff, to get that a little bit better. But that's all I've really done since then. And yeah, I would definitely go talk to a doctor. Just remember the side effects that it does cause. The only thing that really sucked about it at the time was me losing the hair. Luckily, now that I have been off it for so long, I can tell you guys, like, your hair, at least mine, you know, it did grow back. If you want, you can take some biotin that helps your hair grow, and it helps your nails grow and everything. But I hope this video helps you out so that way you guys can kind of get an idea of what to expect, what's going to happen down the road, or what's going to happen when you get on Accutane. For you guys that are on Accutane or about to be on Accutane, at least now you kind of have an idea of what, you know, what to expect on the long run. I took mine 4 years ago and I'm still having good skin from it since then. It hasn't came back or anything. So I hope if you do get on Accutane, it does work out for you as well as it did for me. And I hope whatever, you know, that you do get on, you know, that you're able to find a solution, because it does feel better once you are able to get rid of it. That being said, that's it for this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you are getting Accutane, or, you know, thinking about getting on Accutane, that this kind of shows you, you know, what to expect. But that's pretty much it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it so much. I hope you learned something, and I hope this gets you excited for your journey to get rid of your acne. If you guys have any before and after pictures, post them in the comments. I'd love to see them, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.